a bid to embrace the credit system and make the most out of it, some immigrants have taken action that put them into an indefinite debt, and this is hurting their finances badly. In this video, I want to illustrate certain actions taken by some immigrants that eventually hurts their personal finances and keep them in debt for life. Car financing and auto loan is one of the traps that has kept a lot of immigrants completely bound in debt, and some are still struggling, working hard to escape from this trap. For a country like Canada, a car is not a luxury. A car is a survival, is a necessity for mobility's sake. And this is because the public transport system here in Canada is not that really fantastic when you compare to other Western countries like the US, the UK, Germany, and the rest of them. So owning a car is very essential, is very vital for your mobility, especially as a new immigrant. But one mistake most immigrants make here is that upon their arrival, some of them, they then proceed to take car financing from the dealership. They finance a vehicle that is worth over $40,000. You are still new in the country. You haven't settled down yet. There's no secured job yet, and you want to finance a car that is worth over $40,000. That is a huge mistake. So when I arrived in Canada with my family, one of the things we did was to buy a car that wouldn't cost us an arm. Just a car that we can afford from the money we brought into Canada. We were able to buy, my first car then was a Kia Sportage 2006. This car cost less than $2,000, and the car was serving me well. Okay, it takes me from point A to point B. It was serving its purpose. So there wasn't any need for me to finance a vehicle and get myself into debt right away. Making that move, buying that car that would serve the purpose, was the right decision for me to make. But this is where some immigrants fail. The moment they arrive, they want to finance a car. They want to buy the same kind of car that an immigrant that has been here for over 3 or 4 years is riding. That's the same car they want to ride, the same car they want to finance. But you are just landing. You haven't even secured a sustainable job yet. You have just a survival job, and then you want to finance a car that is worth $40,000. And your monthly payment on the car and the insurance is approximately about 60% of your income. That is the wrong move to make. That will keep you in poverty. You will continue to struggle. This is one thing I believe immigrants should try to avoid. Immigrants here, after settling down, after a year or two, they've settled down, they got a better job, maybe a job in their same line of profession, and they felt, now I am more comfortable, I have more income at my disposal. They then proceed to substitute their vehicle and purchase a higher brand of vehicle that is worth over $60,000 to $70,000. Now you have a job that your annual salary is $50,000 to $55,000, and then you proceed to finance a vehicle that is worth over $60,000, vehicle that is worth more than your annual income. That is a huge mistake. At the end of the day, what you pay just to maintain the vehicle, what you pay for the financing, for the insurance, and the maintenance of the vehicle is eating up your income, and then you will continue to struggle. And one thing I want immigrants like myself to understand is that vehicle as a property is a depreciating property. The moment you drive the vehicle off the dealership lot, the vehicle loses approximately 15 to 20% of its value. It depreciates immediately. So why invest so much in something that doesn't hold value? I would rather you invest in a real asset like property. So I think immigrants need to understand this fact and need to see this as a trap. You need to understand that a vehicle here is a survival, is a necessity and not a luxury. It shouldn't cost you an arm to purchase your first vehicle. You get a vehicle, an older vehicle between maybe 2010, right, that you can afford. The vehicle can serve you, can serve its purpose. And then once you are much settled and you feel there's a need to substitute that vehicle, you shouldn't purchase a vehicle that the value of that vehicle at the time of purchase is actually higher than your annual income. That is a huge mistake, and that is a trap that we need to recognize and avoid as an immigrant. We are here as an immigrant to build wealth. How do you build wealth? When you keep sinking yourself into debt. For a vehicle, in my opinion, is not worth it. I know we love good things. We want to get the latest vehicle in town and compete with fellow immigrants to show that we're doing well. But nobody cares. Nobody actually cares. It's up to you and your family. If you take something that becomes a liability and that thing keeps taking money out of your pocket every month, then you are in for a serious trouble financially, and you can't build wealth that way. So we need to manage our debt with regards to owning a vehicle or financing a vehicle. The banks will always be willing to extend that auto loan to you. As long as you meet the requirement, they are only interested in the interest, the money they make off of you from paying for that vehicle. The same thing goes with the dealership. You finance the car through the dealership, they don't care. In fact, some dealership would ask you to pay 0 down payment and they will give you the car. As long as the financing is there and you keep making your payment, they are fine. They're making money off of you. But this is of no benefit to you. So this is something we need to realize and cut our coat according to our cloth. You don't have to compete with anyone. I was with a friend, I think sometime last week, and she was sharing with me the challenges the family is going through. Financial challenges right now. And the reason is simple. She got a job that now pays her $52,000. They had a car that serves them perfectly well. Well maintained, no issues, low cost of maintenance. Now she has a higher job, higher pay. She felt they need to change their car. So they bought a new car. This car is worth almost $70,000. This is like almost about $20,000 higher than her annual income. What she pays to finance the car and insurance is almost, I think, about $1,200 or thereabout every month. 8 months down the line, she's not happy. She's not having the usual savings she used to have like every month, because now she has increased her cost, and she increased the cost on a liability, which is a vehicle. If she's to put the vehicle back on sale to sell that vehicle, she'll be losing huge amount of value on that vehicle. She's devastated. She doesn't know what to do. They have obligations to pay. She's hoping that they could purchase their first property in 2026, but she's not seeing that dream coming through. And this is just because of a wrong step they took to replace their vehicle with a higher vehicle that is beyond their affordability. We can avoid this mistake. My Kia Sportage served me really well after we purchased our first property, was when I replaced that vehicle. No financial stress. In order to continue to build wealth, we need to cut down our liabilities and expenditures. Any property that is taking money from our pocket every month is a liability, and we shouldn't be investing heavily on a liability. Owning a car is a liability. Here in Canada, car is a survival. Car financing, auto loan is just one of the traps that we need to look out for as immigrants if we want to truly build wealth here in the Western country. In my next video, I will be highlighting other financial traps that we need to look out for if we truly want to build wealth. Knowing them, identifying them, and avoiding them is the only way we have out of poverty here in the Western country. I don't want this video to be longer than it should. Watch out on my subsequent video as I highlight and expose other financial traps that we need to identify and avoid. Thank you for watching today's episode. If you like this video and you find it helpful, please click on the like button, subscribe to this channel to support my work, and watch my next video.